It's alive. That's what some people say when they see me stand up. It's alive. Alright. Well, hello everybody.
Hi. Nobody's in here because I forgot to to tell you guys that we were going to go live.
Well, when you show up, just know that we were here and you were not. Now you were here and we are not.
Well, we are. They're just seeing a replay. The camera adjusted. But yeah, I'm.
Gotta adjust my shirt. Had a wardrobe malfunction. Close your eyes.
Chubby boy problems. But anyway, usually we can film it with the camera turned sideways so we get a better view, but not today. I'm not sure what the deal is. Okay. There's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Hannah's peeling potatoes. She's peeling apples over here to the side. We got a whole bunch of apples this week from the neighbor's tree.
Yeah.
So
Love community.
yes. So we're working on apples.
The neighbors, which they rent their house from the same people our house is owned by, they have a great big tree that has more apples than anybody can use. There are a lot of apples on the ground, and it's still absolutely stinking loaded. And so we went and picked up a bunch, and you can't hardly tell we were there. And we saw the landlord in church today, and he said to pick up more if we wanted.
Yep.
An applesauce is the project. Hannah is helping with that, working very hard at it. And she always does work hard at those projects, and it's good help.
So what are you up to today, Rebecca? What color? They're green and pink.
Yeah, they're green with a lot of red blush on them.
Yeah,
is the way I
with a
would call it.
blush. Yeah.
Some of them have gotten mostly red blush. The green.
But they're tart apple. They're purposefully like
They're
an apple.
definitely a cooking apple. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they're kind of that texture too. They're not a real juicy. They're yeah. Who's that?
I don't know. And it's, you may have to hit translate.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Do a backflip. Oh, we don't have a. Sorry, guys, we don't have a
Moderator.
mod in here, and I somehow we can.
Yeah, they're not Granny Smiths. Granny Smiths are usually mostly green, pretty well green, and they're definitely not a Granny Smith texture either. But they are, I don't know, they're about like a Jonathan apple size. But they're a little more green to them. I don't know what they are for sure.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
But yeah, we're just going along, getting chores done,
Getting away.
been putting away tomatoes, and we've been putting away peppers and okra. Now we're working on tomatoes.
And we're apples.
I mean, we're working on apples. I'm sorry, we're
Yeah.
working on apples.
Yeah.
We're still getting lots of tomatoes.
Lots of tomatoes. Lots of homesteading going on.
Yeah.
Not any filming going. We gotta start filming. You gotta get back into the habit of filming. It's kind of a stretch sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess kids that go to school, a lot of them are school about now. Lots around to start tomorrow.
yes.
And lots of that stuff going on. Fun. Teachers going back to school. Get to braille with children again. And
Yeah, it's the reflection on the window. Yeah. Just the reflections of the window. We are, let me show you what we're looking at. When you guys are looking at us, this is what we're looking at.
There's a handle right
The
there.
handle of the camera, but that's our view. Isn't that beautiful? Get that turned around. So yeah, that's our view. We're looking off our front porch down into the pasture down there into the valley, and looking at, there's a bull standing underneath a big tree down there, and yeah, so we've got a nice view. Jonathan, did you say Jonathan apples?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be. They could
Yeah.
be.
Sure, not good at apple ID.
And you know, the apples we're used to in the grocery store, a lot of times those aren't apples that are trees that have done good in our areas.
Right.
There is so many varieties of apples. So we can buy about 9 to 12 apples of varieties of apples in the grocery store. There are 300 and some varieties of apples grown in the United States.
Hello, Guru.
So they are a Jonathan type apple. They're something like that. That yeah, they may be a Jonathan. Who knows?
Oh, goodness. We have got the trolls today. Sorry, guys. We got a troll in here.
We're from the
Missouri Ozarks.
Yeah, we're in the Ozarks.
Yeah, we're in the Missouri Ozarks.
That's probably as specific as we need to be today.
Yes, it looks like it. I'm not sure what that's about.
I don't know. Lots of unknowns in here.
We're doing good, Sarah. We're working on apples.
Yes.
Well, we're not. We're on live with you guys. Hannah's over there working on. Happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday. Yep.
Yep. So, thanks everybody for being in here. Appreciate seeing you. Glad to see you. Let us know where you live.
Yep. General. Don't give.
Yeah, don't give specifics. Give us what state might be good or what region.
Region. Area. Yep.
Okay, we need to get rid of that person.
I don't know how to get rid of
I
them.
just have to remove everyone.
Okay.
We
don't have a mod in here. Hi, Beth. We don't think you're. Hi, Brenda.
Yep. Hello.
Somebody's from Texas. Awesome. Hi,
All
Brenda.
right, cool. Thanks for being in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the
Duncan. Yeah. Brenda.
Okay. I'll try. Let's see if I can do it. Yep. There we go. It's not letting me. It's not letting me because I'm on my I'm on my I know I can't get rid of them.
I know.
And I can't make a mod to help me get rid of them.
Yes.
Sorry, since I'm on my phone yeah. So there's another one held for review. That means that I don't know what.
Is that Brenda?
No. No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I don't know what you think you're pulling.
Another moderator handled this. Okay.
Okay. Good. 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 This is that's ridiculous. That's not what this channel's about, and we're done with you.
Okay. So hopefully, yeah. I can't get it to hide either. Sorry. What are we doing with the apples? Um,
Okay. Now we got that one.
Yeah.
Pulling that crap.
yeah. Um, so, so we're making applesauce with the apples, and guys, we are. Thank you, Brenda. Um, I don't know how to. If you're even listening, or if you're just making a mess, trying to make a mess. Um, we eat poke, yeah, yeah, we eat poke. But though the trolls that are in here, guys, if you're listening, wow, that's all I gotta say for you is wow. Um, you
Yeah.
know, we are a multicultural family,
Yeah, we don't appreciate
and
you
we don't
talking like
appreciate that because you're being very hateful, and we would never treat someone that way. And I feel very sorry for you that that's your entertainment. That's sad.
Yeah, she just tried to make somebody a mod,
Mod
Rebecca,
and
and it's hard to do off the phone. We can't get the
yep.
phone to do what we need it to do.
Thank you, Jay Rowland. I'm trying not to, but it's so those of us that know it, they don't know us. If they did, they would know that that's just yeah, yeah. Anyway,
I don't.
yeah, it's got to be sad to be that bored and to be that hateful, have that much hate in their heart.
Yeah.
So let's just pray for them. Let's pray for them. Father God, I just lift these people up to you, Lord. I just ask that you would heal the brokenness that's in their lives, Lord. That's in their hearts, that they would um, feel your love today, Lord. Lord, I ask that you would touch them, that you would um, just heal them. Because they've got to be so broken to try to hurt people that way and to try to be so hateful. And Lord, you know the truth. Um, you have bled and died for them, and they're just choosing to live this way, Lord. And Lord, I just ask that you would teach them that everyone is valuable, everyone. Lord, we just thank you and praise you that we can have this platform, and we ask that you would just touch their hearts, change their minds, and change their hearts, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
You know, we don't grow the apples, and we have a neighbor that's got an apple tree that we're getting apples from.
Thank you, Evelyn. Evelyn to the rescue. Um,
Yeah, good, good, good.
but hi, Julie. Yeah, we have a neighbor with the apples. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So.
yeah, and I'm gonna. Never mind.
Yeah. And I know we shouldn't let them get to us. And I mean,
And you know, maybe it's a bot, maybe it's not. Who knows?
they are some good apples. Thank you. But Yeah, we both come from very diverse backgrounds,
We've got a very diverse family.
and we have a diverse family, and
There's words that were being used that we don't appreciate. I don't care what color your skin is when you say it. It's still a word of oppression and hate. Don't use
and
it.
derogatory, and we don't.
Don't use it.
It's not. Yeah, but and we appreciate you guys that love us and love everyone around you, and love people that aren't kind, and maybe it is. We try to be good people, and we try to love everybody that we can. We do love them, whether or not it looks. Thank you, Evelyn. No, you're okay. Um, thank you, Jay. Thank you. Um,
All right, let's get back to our
yes,
life and quit worrying about the
my
morons.
heart.
So we've been putting apples up, tomatoes. We've just been getting along doing our thing. We've both been working a lot. We've both my business is continuing to grow, and Cindy has changed positions in her job, and we're both very very busy. We've got a yes. I appreciate
Evelyn,
having a mod
you.
in here. We tried to make a couple more mods, and it's hard to do off the phone.
Yep.
Cindy's had to do that off her computer in the past, and you guys, our internet, it's not great.
You're right.
But so we appreciate your help, and Brenda, we tried to get you on there. We know
Sorry,
you would help
Brenda.
if you could. So
I'm sorry, Evelyn, that you're going to be worked overtime
yes.
today. But yeah, and usually this usually doesn't happen, and I wonder if it's because we did it like an instant live and didn't do the setup and schedule. Maybe I think that kind of draws a different crowd, or maybe a different algorithm. But anyway, so we are moving and grooving, homesteading.
We've
and
got
we're
some
working.
we've got some good things to try to do
Yep.
today. It's going to be really hard for us to do if we have a lot of trolls.
Yep.
Because we want to protect some things.
Yep.
So
We may have to do a scheduled special and see if we can
Yeah.
do it. We may do that. We may postpone our giveaway. Those of you guys that knew there was a giveaway today, we may postpone that.
thank you very much, Evelyn.
Thank you, Evelyn. And we'll just see how things progress from here. You can't hear us. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, oxtail is expensive now. And,
Yes.
You know, there's some other cuts like that. Like heart has gotten more expensive.
Yes.
And
All of the stuff. Our butcher was super shocked when we wanted it until he got to know us, and then he's like, "Nope, not shocked at all."
And well,
We loved the tongue.
yeah,
and the
tongue's
liver.
something that's gotten more expensive and harder to get.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry you can't hear us. I don't know what to change.
It may not
We
be
are
us.
not very technical. I think everybody else is hearing us.
And it
so.
can be on their end sometimes too. So looks like we got another one. They just have switched. They're just switching. It's probably a bot.
And you know, when you talk about cuts that used to be really cheap and got popular, that's happened. Brisket used to be one of those.
Yeah.
When brisket became a big barbecue thing, it's because it was cheap.
Right.
That's why it started to be a barbecue thing that really got popular. And then when it got really popular, brisket's expensive now. Ribs were the one of those. That's the reason it was such a popular in poorer communities as a barbecue food, because it was a cheap cut. It was an off cut. It actually the enslaved people were using it as a barbecue cut because it was almost throwaway.
Right.
I mean, and so people would chicken
Chicken
wing.
wing.
It is
Just good food.
yeah, and so as things become popularized by their uses, then they become more expensive. Yeah.
For a tail. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, for an
Isn't that crazy?
oxtail. But then there's a lot of custom processors that are throwing them away all day long
Because their customers
because
don't.
customers don't, they can't put that in a retail
Right.
case.
Because they don't have the licensing.
Yeah, and if customers' meat, it's not their meat to put in a retail case. Only $2.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times if you know people that are having animals butchered, you can
Processed, yeah.
ask, if they're having stuff processed, you can ask for some of those
Mhm,
offcuts.
mhm.
The tail and the tongue and the heart and the liver is easy to get somebody to give you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, thank you. We're just simple folks. We just live simple, and that's just who we are. You know, we're nothing special.
So
We're just us.
when you make oxtail, are you just making like oxtail soup? Or are you just cooking it down?
You barbecuing it? How
What
you
are you
doing
doing with it?
Because we love to hear what other folks are doing with what we do. We're foodies. We love food, and we like to. We just like to hear about it and how tacos out of our
Oh
tongue.
man, taco
Beef
de
tongue.
lengua.
Woo!
Yeah, we love beef tongue tacos. And we also make beef tongue in a gravy and put it over
Yes,
mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Man, you cook a beef tongue right,
that's
it's
the
as good
best
as any
roast
pot
ever.
roast.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people surprises them. Most people, when they eat tongue cooked well, they are surprised with how good it is.
Yeah. And yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah.
I've eaten oxtail as a soup, and
With navy beans, yeah, cool. Kind of like what we'd put a ham hock in navy beans. Love oxtails. So.
yeah,
Oh, I bet that'd be good.
we love game.
Yes.
We've a lot of our life eating
Game.
game. Yeah, um, and so yeah, cool. Where do they say they put them in navy beans?
Um, Rebecca said her mom would put the oxtails in navy beans.
Okay.
Yeah, stew meat's not cheap anymore either. And then
Put gravy with it.
Jay Rowland says they fry them with flour, then put them in the oven with beef stock and makes gravy. Oh,
Yeah. I've eaten different cuts of bony meat like that. Shanks.
Yep.
I've eaten shanks like that. And
Yep.
I've eaten shanks like that and then put over mashed potatoes.
Pork, salt, and lima beans. Yeah, we
Yeah.
put our ham hock in there. Yep. Yep. Navy beans. Navy beans. Any.
Eat liver every week.
Eat
Yeah,
liver. That's good. Liver's good for you. So pinto beans, black beans, white beans, which are navy beans, and lima beans. That
And we like any kind of cured pork.
Yeah, would be a cured meat in there, just
Yeah.
like your salt pork. Yep.
I've even eaten beans with like a smoked cured turkey leg.
Oh yeah, that's good
I've
too.
eaten that a time or two. Cindy used to take us to some smoke barbecue joint down in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
That was run by an African American family. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, they had an old KFC building on the north side of the Capitol building. What was it, 4 or 5 blocks up from the Capitol building?
Yeah,
and they had an old KFC building. I cannot remember the name of the restaurant.
And I guess
it's so good.
some of that stuff would be called soul food. To us, it's not
It was
soul
food.
food. It's just poor folks' food.
Yeah, it was just,
but they would have.
Yeah, turkey legs are expensive too.
When you would get greens or when you would get beans, they would season a lot of it with smoked turkey necks and smoked turkey legs.
So good.
They did the best brisket
ever.
Yeah.
And that
fried corn on the cob.
That gentleman was so sweet. He would come around and talk. He noticed we were coming regular, so he knew we were going with as regular as we were coming. He knew we were going to OU Med.
$6 a pound.
And so he kind of come around and he prayed with us, and just a wonderful brother in Christ that we got to meet that way, because we decided after an appointment we would eat barbecue.
And barbecues and that kind of food is my favorite.
Yeah.
So we'd stop there and he got to talking to us. And I think we always surprise some people when we like to eat greens. Yeah, buying bones at the Arab market. A lot of times the ethnic market's the place to get some of those cuts. If there's a Garcia near you, which is that's kind of the culture where they're used to being around the most.
Hispanic.
It's a Hispanic. And so as far as the food cultures.
Right.
And so the carnicias are great places to get cuts like that. Turkey legs have gotten expensive. Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. Collard greens with smoked turkey wings. Yes, Rebecca.
That's very good.
You miss those days. Oh, I bet you do. We were talking about my granny today and my cousins that would my couple of my cousins would come over. So she was their great grandmother. But my daddy is the next or anyway, he's down on the roll in a bunch of kids. He's down towards the younger. He's the younger part of the kids, and so his oldest brother's grandsons were my age. One just a year older and one just a year younger, and they would come over and play with us because we lived by Granny, and they come. We would be at Granny's all the time, and so they would come and play, and those boys were always Justin and Craig is their names, and they always were, Granny, what you need done, what you need done, what can we do, Granny, what can we do for you, Granny. You know, they were such good helpful boys, even from little bitty, and she loved them dearly. And
one of them, well, both of them were very close friends of
yes,
mine in high school, and one of them was actually probably my best and my closest friend. Him and I lived together a lot and just
yep,
different things, run together a lot, and the guy could fix anything mechanical.
smart,
I mean, just a mechanical
smart,
genius. And chewing gum and a paper clip, baling wire. I mean, he could do those kind of repairs.
yep.
I think the craziest thing I was ever in on with him is he came and got me and my little brother one day, and he had a Pontiac Grand Am. And he said, hey guys, come help me get a motorcycle.
Yes.
He said, I bought a motorcycle. It's about 25 miles away. And he said, I bought this motorcycle. Come help me pick it up. We thought we were just going to ride with him and drive
yep,
his car back. We got there and he couldn't get it started. He pulled a rope out of the trunk, tied it to the forks of that motorcycle, and we pulled him home on a motorcycle. Towed a motorcycle all the way home. And my brother stood, turned around backwards in the seat watching while I was driving. And he was trying to keep an eye on Craig, keep me from dragging him on his top or whatever.
Crazy.
And we tell my brother's boys those stories now, and they don't believe us. They think we make half of them up.
Oh, they're too crazy. They gotta
Yeah.
be true. Yeah.
Yeah, we eat out of our garden all the time.
Oh.
I mean, and we can stuff, so we're eating out of it all year
Yep.
long. This year, early in the spring, I would made us greens several times. We had some Swiss chard growing, so we ate quite a bit of chard. That's a really
Yes.
nice, different flavored green.
It is.
We grew.
It's very beady, It tastes like dirt.
It's earthy.
It's got a lot of dirt flavor.
If you add enough garlic and bacon grease to it, it's great.
If you get them younger and tender, they don't taste as much like dirt. But the bigger they are and more heat, like the outside temperature affects them as well. But they are a beet green. They're just they don't make as big of a root as a beet, and you eat the greens instead of the beet. Beet greens are good too, especially very young. But
the variety we grew is called silver beet.
Silver beet, yeah.
And
or Swiss chard, yeah.
Yeah, and we grew the dinosaur kale, the Tuscan kale, or
Nero de Toscana.
leaf cabbage. It's called too, Nero de Toscana.
It's got several names. Yeah.
And we ate that as a green some, and it's good when it's cool.
Yeah.
When it gets hot, it gets kind of an afterbite to it.
Yeah. It gets very sharp, sharper than cabbage.
A lot sharper.
But yeah, we had quite a bit of cabbage. I accidentally froze some of it because our extra refrigerator on the back porch, I didn't have the temp set right. Rabbits love, yes they do.
Yeah.
Canned jelly. So
Do you have some videos on
jelly. I do have some jelly videos. Jelly, so the big thing you're going to worry about in jellies, because the big thing you're going to worry about in jelly is making sure your acidity levels are right if it's something that needs that adjustment.
Jay, it's best to use some established recipes,
Yes.
especially at first, till you get comfortable with everything and you get your head kind of wrapped around everything. So the Ball Blue canning book, Ball Blue, not the other way around. Ball
those
Blue canning book. I just set some trolls on their ear, didn't I?
They're going crazy. Why can't we comment on that one?
Evelyn, get busy. He's gonna get busy. So that's got some established recipes. It's got all your canning procedures and everything in it. That's probably the best tool you can have for canning. That usually contains stuff for Oh yeah, we fry cabbage.
Oh yeah, we fry cabbage with bacon and onions and peppers.
Absolutely.
And whatever we can throw in the pan with it.
Sometimes with bacon, sometimes with sausage. Either way.
We've even done it with hamburger. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Fungus jelly, what a way to go. Dying from
Okay.
It might be painful. It might be painful though. I don't know. Getting fungus from a jelly. It might be painful. I don't. Most food poisonings are painful, but
Oh my goodness. So
I would like if I knew I was passing my last meal. I want to be shrimp. And
you're allergic to it.
because I'm allergic to shrimp. I love shrimp. I mean, I
hey,
love
Patty.
shrimp. But hello, Miss Patty, the tinker's wife.
Well, I don't think they hit us as hard as I thought they would after I said
No,
what I just
they
said.
did it. They did. It's
But,
okay. They didn't hit us. They didn't.
But we appreciate everybody that's
Everything,
in
yes.
here. Evelyn, we appreciate you so
Yes,
much.
we do. We love you, girl.
That really throws us for a loop. We're not used to that. We don't attract a lot of
We
that.
fly under the radar because we're
Right.
not a large channel, and so we don't catch a lot of that. But yeah, Jay,
And you really got to know us to like us.
yes,
And that's the truth.
we're
So,
kind of odd people. Hi, there's Lori Carp.
Lori,
Welcome in,
I'm
honey.
so glad you're in here.
Yeah, you'll give Evelyn some help. We've had some major trolls in here, and it has been
So give me some dates, darling.
dates. Okay,
September 6th and 7th.
6th and 7th, September 6th and 7th.
If you are able to be in the vicinity of Marshfield, Missouri on September 6th and 7th, we kind of would like for you to know.
Say me.
Say
Comment
me. Say me.
Yep.
Comment me.
Comment me.
September 6th and 7th, Marshfield, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to hear from you. So let us know if you can be there. Yeah, thank you. We're her kind of odd.
Yes, we thank you. We appreciate that. So Jay Rowland, my suggestion would be see if you can find a homestead community in your area. I know that there's a good one outside, but I can't remember which way it is outside of Dallas. There's a good one kind of east and maybe a little north outside of Dallas area Metroplex. That's really, really good. I don't know what social media forums you might be on, but I know there's one that meets through a Facebook, and I can't remember. I've got a friend that's in it, and they like gather together and help each other process meats or process chickens, help each other can.
Oh, man.
Oh goodness. Okay, Rebecca. So we need to pray
Well,
for
I'm
Rebecca.
sorry,
She'd
you
go.
can't be
Yeah,
there.
it's okay. Well, we'll be praying for you, Rebecca. We know how when you're in a rural community and your vehicle
Cars are important.
car is very important because there is not so much of
There's
the
not public transportation.
Yeah.
There's not amenities close. Yeah.
and Uber is either very expensive or not available. So yeah, but
Jay-
I'm sure.
Jay Rowland wants to know about canning
Yep.
jellies, and I'm going to answer that question in just a minute. So that book is going to be your best bet.
Yep, the ball can
Yeah,
book.
we do have a playlist for that says canning, I think, on it.
And it has some jellies, I
Yeah.
think.
Go give that a watch. I know it's got apple butter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
Which is not
give that a
necessarily
watch.
a jelly, because jelly you use like Sure Gel and stuff like
Right,
that. And Sure Gel, the Sure Gel packets, if you buy Sure Gel in Walmart or wherever, if that's your kind of thing, I know some folks don't use it because of dietary means and stuff, issues. But if you do, there's
she
good.
got a bus to go to her sister's funeral.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad you were able to get
Yeah.
on the bus. The bus, we've sent our kids. We've used the bus to get our kids places when they got stranded. We like the bus systems. They're good to have.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a lesson on jelly right now.
okay.
Juice of the fruit
Yes.
is jelly.
Yes, juice.
If you make that into a
Yes,
jelly, it's
the
jelly.
juice. Yeah.
If you're using the pulp of the fruit,
It's jam.
it's jam. If you're using the pulp of the fruit and you add spices, it's a butter. If you're using the juice of the fruit and you add spices, it's a honey.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm a fart smeller.
There you go. You got a real quick lesson. He's been paying attention. Oh, you have someone interested in buying your house. Yes, we will definitely pray.
Yeah.
So those of you that are prayers and in our Miss Patty, the tinker's wife, she is trying to
sell her house so she can move closer
yes.
to her son.
Yes.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Am I remembering
yes, she wants
that
to move
right?
closer to family.
Family. Yes.
Move closer to family. We're going to put it that way.
Okay.
And closer to family. And
Rebecca needs a vehicle.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Lori. I don't know what the hard filter is. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Lori. But anyway, we
So the smokehouse. Somebody
yes,
asked if we had used a
smokehouse.
smokehouse. We haven't. I have not used a smokehouse per se. I was around one some when I was a kid. I have not used one, but I made a smoker out of an old gas stove.
Like a cook stove, gas cook stove.
Yeah, an old gas cook stove that I was able to use to even cool smoke some bacon. I definitely smoked some bacon in it several times.
Rebecca doesn't want to go looking for another one. She would like to replace the transmission.
Oh,
hers.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right, so we pray for that too.
Yeah. So, smokehouse.
Yeah, that's my smokehouse experience.
We've just cured, like, I guess you'd call that a brine cure.
Yeah.
A dry rub. We put a dry rub on it. And
I use a dry salt cure
and then it makes its own brine.
on bacons and hams and stuff. And I have smoked some of that bacon in my own smoking rig. It's not really a smokehouse. I know that Papa Pepper's got some great videos on his smokehouse.
So if you haven't checked out Papa Pepper, check out Papa Pepper.
Simply Jan, didn't they do a smokehouse?
Maybe. Yeah, check out Simply Jan, see if they've got one.
I'm not good about watching people. I'm good about having conversations with people that have YouTube channels. And I think I remember her talking about that.
What kind do we smoke with? Cherry.
We like cherry. We like apple.
Peach is good too if we can get it.
I use pecan.
Pecan is real good. And
I like
hickory.
And I even like white oak. White oak is good too. White oak or post oak, which post oak is a white oak, but there's also a white oak variety called white oak.
Yeah. We don't use mesquite because
Cindy's allergic to it.
I like to breathe.
But we really like the fruit woods. We like pecan. We like hickory. We like white oak. Those are our things we like the most. I would say that my favorite, just across the board, is probably pecan. Here we don't have a lot of pecan. When we lived in Oklahoma, we had an old family cattle lease that had a lot of pecan brush from the years of the big old pecan trees. And we cut down dead limbs and we pruned a lot of pecans and we had a lot of pecan then. And I had a cousin who had built a really nice smoker set up that was almost a smokehouse, I guess. It had a pit in the bottom and then a great big meat box on it that was bigger than me. And it was kind of a smokehouse setup, and I used a lot of pecan in that. Hickory's very good. If your hickory's not pretty dry, it will heavily coat meat.
Yeah.
It's good. Good flavor.
Well, hello, Ashley, with CNC Farms.
We talked about you a couple of days ago, a day or two ago.
We were wondering how you're doing. I needed to have gotten a hold of you and said, hey, girl.
Yeah. It was all good things.
It was good. We were just like, I wonder how she's doing and her little man. But yeah,
So if you can be at Marshfield, Missouri, September 6th and September 7th.
Or even if it's just one of those days.
Even if it's just one of those days. If you can be there.
Comment me.
Comment me so we can know that we have people in here that we can do some things we want to do here in a minute. Awesome.
Oh, nice. Yes, I know, Miss Patty. So it is not a YouTube event. That was our homesteading expo. Yes, we love okra.
We got an okra story we'll tell here in a minute.
Yes. Oh, Jay, you hit on. We're just going to call you Jay. If you'd like to be called something different, let us know.
Yeah.
For Jay Rowan. Yes, we love okra. It is a staple in our family. Our favorite way now to use, well, our favorite way to use it, that we use it all year long to preserve it and everything, is pickled okra. Preschool. Oh my
Golly,
goodness.
goodness.
Oh, he's growing up. But Jay's fine. Good. Okay. So we yeah, okra story. Tell your
We were
okra
somewhere
story.
else first. We were talking about
Ozarks Homesteading
Ozark
Expo.
Homesteading Expo.
Sorry, we are both very ADHD, and Gary does a better job of keeping track of where we're at in the conversation than I do.
I've had to work at it.
Because I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere, and I'm busy, and I'm never still. Not even still in my sleep. Fan of so was Gary's grandfather was a fan of okra.
We'll get there.
Huge
We'll
fan
get
of
there.
okra.
We'll get
But
there.
anyway, Ozarks Homesteading Expo is
Not a YouTubing event.
no,
You-
but there
you
are lots
can-
of YouTubers there.
And you can take your camera,
Yes.
shoot all the YouTube videos you
Yes.
want. It's encouraged.
Yes.
If you do, Cheryl wants to know where to go look and find
Yes.
them. The lady that puts it on.
Yep.
Tag Ozark Homesteading Expo hashtag or whatever, so she can find it. And there you will meet a lot of YouTubers there. But it is a homesteading event.
Yes, it
is. It
is.
is about learning to be better at growing food, producing your own energy, being more self-sufficient.
Actually, has some of your.
Oh, really?
I have some of that okra. And she was going to write something and accidentally hit send before she got it all out, so she retracted that. 50th high school reunion, awesome. Gary's parents had their 50th wedding anniversary this week.
So many have come to Christ since I last saw them. That's awesome.
Yes,
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's what you.
That's
oh, that's
amazing.
awesome. That's awesome.
Well, Ashley, if you're gonna go, put me. If you think you want to go, put me, because we might be able to help you with that here in a minute.
Yeah. If that's if getting tickets is an issue, I know you're not. If getting tickets is an issue, let us know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So,
You're out of the camera, dear. There you are.
come to the Ozark Homesteading Expo.
Hey, the Ozarks Homesteading Expo's in here. Cheryl's
Yes.
in here. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello, Cheryl.
We're working hard, Cheryl. we may no longer have a large enough fan base.
Well, we've got several people in here, and just all that. We want to make sure we're giving it to somebody that
a
can
local
make
fan
it.
base.
In homesteading,
And to learn those skills.
and we want you to be able to learn those skills. You will find so many toilets to solar energy, electric fences, butchering a hog,
Canning.
wild foods, fermenting, all kinds of stuff.
And much, much more. But wait, there's more.
Yes. But then also, besides the good classes, just talking to the vendors and the people around you, I learn as much in the aisles of the vendors talking to people as I do in the classes.
Yep. I believe that, Cheryl, please correct me if I'm wrong. Do you need tickets for children, Cheryl?
Yes, Cheryl, we do, and we're going to try to give those
trying.
away.
We're trying to give away, Cheryl.
Cheryl, we do need to know what age has to have tickets. How young can they be and get, or how old can they be and get in free? That's what we want to know.
Yep.
So Jay Rowland asked about okra.
No ticket for 12 and under.
Okay. So Ashley, there's your answer.
Oh. Okay.
Ashley, there's your answer.
So little man
he does
can
not
only
need a ticket.
Nope.
Um,
So, Ashley, you're our only local person that.
Thank you very much,
Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. So, Ashley, you're our only local person. So, if you would like to go to the Ozarks Homesteading Expo, you may pull him from school on Friday. Hey, it's just one Friday. We will. And 13 to 17 is $15. Awesome. So, Ashley.
So here's the deal, guys. We're going to give away a pair of tickets.
We are.
We're going to give away two
tickets.
2 tickets to the Ozark Homesteading Expo. This is an event Cindy and I love. We've been going to it since the first one. We try to help every way we can. We think these kind of events help the homesteading
Yes, help the
homesteading community in an immense way. We think they are key. They're something we wish we wish it had been around when we started. They weren't. The first thing we ever found was a
Mother Earth
News Fair, and that wasn't even there when we started.
Cheryl says, "How about 4?" Well, I think what we're going to do is give away 2 now.
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
2 now and 2 later because
unless you want us to do it different, we'll do it
Yeah,
exactly how you say.
yeah. So,
but we want you guys to come to that if you can. So, if you can be at Marshfield, Missouri on September 6th and 7th, comment me. All right. And we're going to pick somebody out of those me's to give a ticket. Give us a pair of tickets. And it looks like it's going to be easy for us to pick here in a minute. It looks like it's going to be really easy to pick. But, so okra. We got to talk about okra.
Yes, we got to talk about okra.
So, when Cindy and we got married a long time ago.
30 years ago.
I was 3. And she was 7. And we got married.
At least it wasn't 3 and 17. Sorry. Oh gosh.
Thanks for being in here, Brenda.
The fix is in. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Rigged. It's rigged.
We got to get to somebody that can use them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been our biggest.
If you could come, we could set you up with some tickets.
So when Cindy and I got married, and we were planting a garden somewhere like on your folks' place or my folks' place or something. It's in Missouri, Marshfield, Missouri. So we were getting ready to grow a garden. I telling my grandpa about what we were planting. He said, "Have you planted any okra yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't got any planted yet. It wasn't quite warm enough. You know, okra's got to be a little warmer.
We
start gardens pretty early in Oklahoma." So he said, "Well, here, I'll give you some seed." And he went and got a baby food jar, an old jar he had, full of okra seed, and he just had me hold out my hand and dumped a little seed in my hand, and I took it to the house. Oh my.
Took it to the house.
I took it to the house, and then Cindy and I planted it, and we began keeping seed from that okra, and we kept that seed from that okra, and we were calling it Grandpa Cardle's okra.
Yep.
Fast forward from when he gave us that 20 some odd years forward.
Yep.
We were on our place in Kansas, had our YouTube channel going. We planted Grandpa Cardle's okra. We've been talking to everybody about it. It had kind of become its own thing.
Yes.
We shared some seed in a seed swap.
Yep.
And then we planted a bunch of seed, and it rained really hard in Kansas, and it drowned out our okra.
At the wrong time. So okra cannot, at a certain point in germination, it will drown. Standing water will kill it. So we had that happen.
And then
we replanted.
We replanted with all the seed we had left.
Yes. Yeah.
The garden was coming up doing good, and we got accidentally sprayed with
Remedy and 2,4-D. Which is an herbicide.
Killed the garden.
Killed some of our trees.
Killed the okra.
Killed my mint. That's how bad we got sprayed. Heavily we got sprayed. Killed mint.
So, and there's videos about this.
Yes. In 21.
And we lost Grandpa Cardle's okra.
Yeah. And in one of my pity party sessions, crying,
Cindy put
I put a video out asking for people that had received the seed out of the seed swap if they could share seed. And so we had a gal in Oklahoma. His contact says, "Yeah, I'm raising it now. I'll send you I'll send you some seed when it gets grown." And then we had
Doug and Shelley didn't plant all their seed.
They didn't sell. Yeah, so they sent seed back. And saved seed out of that. No, that was in 21.
This has been before you got seed.
Yeah, it was before you got seed. Sorry, Ashley. But anyway. Yeah.
Oh, Kansas does too, but
it doesn't. Yeah,
it still happens.
It still happens.
Accidents happen. They get fined. They pay their fees, and they go on.
Yeah. Sorry, Ashley, but yeah, and so So we got seed back and was able to.
And the lady that had gotten the seed and I
Yes.
swap was like 25 miles from my grandpa's farm.
Yeah, or
Just
if that.
yeah, the next county. Just the
Yeah,
next
next
county.
county.
And in that good old Oklahoma red dirt,
Yep.
which grows okra really good.
So we got so yeah. So we are good. We are good on
And
Grandpa
so
Cargill's seed.
she sent us like a pound of
Yes,
seed.
she did. She did.
And we've been planting it and growing it. We're still and we've now
We've been sharing it still.
We're in a different state now.
Yeah, Ashley's got some of it.
And
we've been
Ashley's
selling
got
it.
some seed, and we're still sharing it. And actually, Ira with Southern Exposure Seed Exchange has talked to us about it, and we need to do some research to try to get things done so that maybe they can make use of it. We need to get them some seed.
They want us to do the background of it, the
Yeah.
background research. To so we believe that it is a
We believe it started out as just a Clemson spineless.
yes, Clemson spineless. Now I will tell you, I did breed into it some dwarfed okra, and I can't remember if it was the Jade or the North South. They were dwarfed varieties, both of those, and that's what we had to grow in Wyoming because Grandpa Cargill's okra couldn't grow in Wyoming
I
because
thought we had kept it separate, though.
whenever we were in Kansas one year,
Planted them
the
together.
first year we extended all the way out to the road when we were on the feedlot.
We planted them together.
We planted them together. We just sewed it together and got rid of the old seed I had, and so they did cross. I think that's why it's not getting as tall.
So, Patty, two varieties.
Uh-huh.
North-south okra.
Uh-huh. North-south.
And-
North-south is one variety, but that's what they call it.
North-south is
it's-
the variety name.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And basically, it's a southern plant like okra that will grow in the north, north-south.
mm-hmm.
And then there's another variety called Jade. They're both short growing season okras.
Mm-hmm.
And we grew them. Now we weren't on the west coast. We were in Wyoming in the high desert, but we only had a 60-day or a 90-day growing season. And that north-south's like a 65-day okra.
Yes.
And
But
it
I
grows
kid you
really
not,
good.
those plants would be this tall and be blooming. The bloom would be sometimes be bigger than the leaf because they were
The
just so
bloom would
small.
almost touch the ground.
Yeah, they were just so small, and they just start blooming, man. They were blooming like crazy.
Looked like green beans out there with okra blooms on them.
So yeah, but they made fun of us in Wyoming because they kept, there were those telling us you can't grow a garden, that this stuff won't grow here. You Southern kids just don't understand, We'd hear from them older folks, and then we'd have people that would drive. People would drive around our block
just to look at our garden.
just to look at our garden, and we were in a block that set off the highway away from. So most of the town was on one side of the highway, and just our block, which had 2 houses on it. I guess 3 if you count the guy who put in a house, but 3 houses, and people would drive not to see those other folks, to see our garden, and then they'd make fun of us because we were out there laying in our garden.
We were just down on our hands and knees working in the garden,
And they'd say, "Oh, I saw you out there taking a nap."
But we did have some people there that encouraged us, said you can grow a garden.
Yep.
This is what you got to be
Miss
careful
Judy
of.
was great with
Yeah,
her that.
and then Wes, the
Yes,
old trapper,
the old trapper, yeah.
Wes that lived in Midwest,
Mhm.
he grows sweet corn.
Yes.
Man, he had to work at it, and he
Oh,
said
yeah.
some years I get it and some years I don't. But he had basically a dog run in his back to keep the deer out of it, and
Yeah.
he would grow sweet corn.
Yeah.
And we had a few people that would encourage us to garden and say, yeah, you can do it. You just got to work at it.
Yeah.
And, it was bentonite soil, so you had to bring in a lot of
had
stuff.
to build it up. Black-eyed peas. We actually don't do black-eyed peas, but we do another pea. We've got a
Red Ripper cow
red
peas.
ripper cow peas. You grew another cow pea
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna
year.
go get some in just a minute.
Woohoo! Yeah. You don't have enough time for Grandpa Cargill okra, Ashley.
But you do have time for, what does she have time for right now?
Well, she could still throw in and maybe get a little bit of squash.
Yeah.
Green beans, you still have time
Summer
for
squash.
green beans. So yellow squash
Or zucchini.
and zucchini, you still got time for them.
You could get probably a crop or two, picking a 2 green
Green
beans.
beans,
Find a short season green bean.
peas, you could do peas.
Yeah. Definitely do things like turnips, and
Turnips, kale.
those kind of brassicas.
Your what you would plant for what we consider a spring garden, most of those. Yes, we weren't where we could access the geothermal, but yeah, it was amazing. Peas, yeah, just regular peas. You still could. I don't know. Cow peas and black eyed peas might take a little bit too long. But here's the deal: if we get an early frost and you have planted a legume, which is beans and peas, if you, I pull my squash and pumpkin squash bugs. Yes, yes, that's we do 2 rounds of squash usually, and right now our yellow and zucchini squash are gone because of the squash bugs, and
We
so
got
we've
plants
just
that tall. We got plants that tall.
new ones.
Yeah, I
Oh, they
saw 'em this
sprouted.
morning. They sprouted
Woohoo!
this weekend.
So we have just started our new plants. They're this tall, for our second round of, and then here is a new pea, Crowder pea, or
yeah,
there you go.
Yep,
Oop,
yep.
that Gary. Everybody calls them something different. Sometimes Crowder pea,
A cowpea
cow
is a typical name.
pea.
They're a little, they're similar to a black-eyed pea.
Yes.
A cowpea, a crowder pea, a field pea.
Uh huh.
Um, a purple hull is a type of cowpea, I think. But this is a new variety. It's called an Ozark Razorback. It's not a new variety. It's a new variety to
For
us.
yes.
It's called an Ozark Razorback.
It's real pretty.
And so that's something we've grown this year. And you talk about something that popped up quick.
Uh huh.
It germinated fast. It produced quick. I think you might could get a crop of these if you planted them right now.
Too pixelated to see.
There we are. Yeah. Um, these seeds came from Baker Creek.
All right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a rock. Not a rock.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. Yeah. We, he was just trying to describe them to us,
Yeah.
I think, Patty. But we have not successfully grown Brussels sprouts. And I don't know if we haven't amended our soil properly or what, because there are folks around us in Kansas and here that have successfully, we're in Missouri now, that have successfully grown Brussels sprouts. It just was not. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, they are in the brassica family, and they do look like baby cabbages. Yeah. Asparagus and strawberry. I want to grow. Yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad you got asparagus and strawberries.
Yeah.
Those perennials are very good.
Yes. Perennials are, yeah. So,
Is that right? Did I
yeah,
have that right?
right.
Did I get it mixed
Yeah,
up?
and we don't have to work. Dale is not able to do his live tonight, so if we go over, it's okay.
Um, if you, again,
Yeah.
September 6th and 7th, if you can be in Marshfield, Missouri, want to come to the Ozark Homesteading Expo, and can be there, comment me.
Ashley's got 1 pair of tickets. Ashley, you got 1 pair of tickets.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's just do
So
that.
Ashley is our proud winner. We have announced it several times last week and this week.
She was the first one to
and
comment
she's the
me.
first one to comment me, and so she won our a set of tickets. Ashley, was saying,
I'll get a. I'll
Yeah.
reach out, Ashley. I
yeah,
got you, girl.
that's somebody that
Yep.
we got
Yep.
contact with. So,
Yes,
all right,
yep.
good deal.
So I will. Ashley, I'll pass your information on to Cheryl, and we'll get you set up with some tickets.
Cool. She did the Baker Creek
Yes.
berry.
Yeah.
Awesome.
On the strawberries.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, watermelons do grow here. I've got some growing here. I got them in a little late, but they do grow here. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to get you those tickets.
Yep.
And I'm sure that Ozark Homesteading Expo, which was on here, will be tickled you've got those tickets.
Yes. Yep. And we will have 2 more tickets to give away. If we can't do that today, we will do it next.
So
And then we're coming to pretty close.
pretty quick, you're gonna be there.
Pretty
so.
close. Black diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So we actually have grown patches of that one.
But we're in Oklahoma on the river. Yeah.
and we had melons do pretty good some in Kansas.
Yep.
But black diamonds are not my favorite. In fact, I put black diamonds very low on my list.
When we were kids, they were good.
Yeah.
But they've changed.
But my favorite is either Charleston Gray
Mm-hmm.
or Crimson Sweets, and Jubilee's right there at the top too.
So
But I love Charleston Gray. They're kind of a high desert watermelon.
Yeah.
They're long, light gray. They're long and light gray. You guys don't want to see me, do you?
Yeah, they do. They want to see you. But,
Oh my!
but the you gotta act like you love
Gluttons
me
for
again.
punishment.
I'm trying to think. So we have Jay. We grew up in Oklahoma. We spent our first 30 years in Oklahoma. When Gary turned 30, on Gary's 30th birthday, he took a job in Wyoming, and so we moved to Wyoming in our 30th year, right before I turned 31, because I am an older woman. 9 months. I'm 9 months older than Gary, so that's the whole him teasing
I'm going
me.
to say one thing about it: Bellamy Brothers.
But anyway, I'm just 9 months older than him, so for 3 months out of the year we're the same age. But I'm still his old lady. I'm still the older woman. But anyway, he teases me. So
It's amazing. It's amazing.
he's on me. No, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah, because I don't like black diamonds.
Oh, because you don't like black diamonds. But anyway, we are young. Yes, we are. We are young. Heartache to heartache we stand. Anyway, that'll give you what age group I'm in, since I know that song. Thought I was 20.
I told you I got married when I was 3.
Yeah. So you'd be 33 because we've been married 30 years. He's not mathing too good. So sorry.
I went to school in Oklahoma.
Olive. Olive. Oh, man. It's scandalous. I know. It's scandalous. Gary, his dad loves it. His dad absolutely loves it.
My sister-in-law, who's married to my baby brother,
Is a month older than Gary.
is a month older than me. My dad just eats it all up. I mean, he just loves it.
So there's 2 years between
Yeah.
Gary and his brother. And so, yeah. But yeah, he was so proud. Both my boys can say their wives are their old ladies. And it's true. But anyway, we have fun with it. We have a lot of fun with it. And I'm sorry, I'm a crier when I laugh. I'm a crier when I'm happy. I'm a crier when I'm sad. Did you ever work in the oil fields?
I
He did as a chaplain.
was a chaplain in the oil fields in Wyoming. I've done some. I used to have a service in Oklahoma that I did like tree work and handyman ranch work stuff, and there was a couple of oil companies that I'd go clear roads and stuff
And
for them,
weed eat and stuff.
weed eat and keep some stuff down around their tank batteries.
Yep.
I took care of.
But not like work over rigs.
I took care of stuff for Harrington Oil and a couple of stuff like that. But I never worked on like a workover rig or a platform or anything like that. I've always been more into construction and ranching, and that's been more of my fields. I've done a lot of things, but
Now, I grew up an oil producer's daughter. My daddy has it's small. He's got a handful of wells that he produces. He also drills water wells. And I can. What are you laughing at? I'm a cougar. Anyway, so.
I gotta go put these keys back up before it drops.
Yes, the Diamond Farm Park in Arkansas. We would love to go, but we haven't made it there yet. But anyway, so I grew up. My dad is very diverse. So he's an oil well producer. He's 5th generation drilling water wells with an apparatus before hand dug for generations. I mean, absolute generations. He also is a cattleman, and so I was responsible for my first or 4 cattle at 8 years old. Or 4 mama cows, a bull, and calve those cows out at 8 and 9 years old. So anyway, so we've done that. I grew up. My granny and my mama had big gardens. My granny lived on our farm with us, and she lived right next door. And a lot of times, her and my mama shared gardens, or would help each other with their gardens if they had different separate ones. We had blackberries, huge blackberry patches that my great aunt had planted when she lived on that her and her husband homesteaded that
San Antonio.
place. San Antonio. Nice.
Okay.
I have some family in Adkins outside of San Antonio that work. I think they mostly work in San Antonio. But anyway, yeah, I've been to San Antonio.
No.
No. Nope.
Northeastern.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Almost central.
Almost central. I grew up in Creek County,
So,
Oklahoma.
yeah, west of Tulsa. Between
Yep.
Tulsa and Stillwater is what I always tell everybody.
Yeah, about halfway between Tulsa and Stillwater, in near Manford. And I went to school tiny. Yeah, that's it, near Manford. Anyway,
So,
yeah.
yeah. And you know what? I've spent some time down in South Texas.
Yeah.
I spent a couple of weeks sleeping a lot of nights at Farr, Texas, outside McAllen. And most mornings we were right there, McAllen, Farr, that area, sleeping there most nights. Well, some nights for a week or two.
Yeah.
And then spent all my time in Mexico. One time and helped build the church building down there, and then we did some supply runs to churches way down in the mountains in Mexico.
Yes, Garth Brooks is from Oklahoma. He sure is. Be nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna be nice. He sure is. Bless his heart. Yeah, he and his wife live outside Skytook. So, yep.
Yeah, and we love Oklahoma.
Yep.
I've been some beautiful places in Texas. Definitely McAllen area, yes. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff grown in that part of the world.
Yep.
We would cross into Reynosa every morning.
Yeah. You just spent a week or two down there.
Yeah,
right?
just a week or two.
Yeah.
And it was a great memory in my life. I got to spend a very special afternoon with an old Mexican man that would just meant the world to me. Taught me a pretty important saying in Spanish, one of the few things I can remember, but I spent the afternoon with an old Mexican man, a couple of hours, and he found out that I liked foraging. And so he walked me around his village showing me everything you could eat.
He liked that.
And he just showed me all kinds of stuff, and I'd just take out my pocket and I cut stuff open and eat it. And if he told me I could eat it, I'd eat it.
Yep, a little bit of cultural exchange
And,
there for you guys.
He took a big bite of a tunis, of a fruit off a prickly pear. He showed me, he cut it off with his knife and he cleaned it a little bit and he sliced it. And then I took it and I sliced a big bite. And we both took a bite at the same time. And he smiled great big.
We were just talking about that today, about your culture shock.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we went to
Oh, yeah. Gary's parents sharing their version, how their experience of it. I hate to say their version from their perspective,
Yes.
what happened, and Gary's dad is not a scared guy, and he's a big guy, and especially when you were young, he was a big man.
Yeah, construction worker all his life. Very
Big man, 6'2",
capable of handling
very,
himself. Spent a lot of time in the rough parts of Tulsa. Is not afraid of much.
But he was scared.
DC scared him.
And he said, I thought I brought my family here to die. When I got there, I thought we're not going to get out of here alive. I said,
Well, they made choices based on their culture.
Yes.
Walking
A few
15 blocks is no big deal.
No.
You know, it wasn't DC.
It was a huge deal in DC. Yep.
So, but this Mexican man took a bite of that tunis, looked up in the sky, and said, "Dios de amor," which is God is love.
Yep.
So when he was eating all those fruits, he was reminded that God loves him. and that meant a lot to me. I was amazed by that. And so when I was staying there outside of McAllen and going down there, I got to experience that. But yeah, Dad was not impressed with DC.
Oh man. So yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, I have been from central Mexico up into up into central Saskatchewan. I've been to Banff as far north as I've been.
Yeah. When
In
you cross into
Calgary.
St. Louis County, I bet. God is love. Yep. But
Yeah, I don't care for St. Louis. I've been there a few times. I don't really like Kansas City.
yeah, Kansas City's rough.
I love people there.
Yes.
There's some people there
We
that
have
mean the world to me.
Yes, we do. We have yeah.
And but when I go there and there's just people walking everywhere and people under bridges, and that's just different to me. That's not my world, and
yeah.
so it makes me uncomfortable. And some of that, I have compassion for those people, but it's just makes me put my head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And yeah, God is love.
But yeah, we've lived. So where I was going with that. So we 30 years in Oklahoma. We were in Wyoming for just over 5 years. And then we were in Kansas for 12 years. And then we've been here a year. I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think somewhere along there. I may not be mathing very close, but I'm pretty close. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was. So we've had an adventure. And we've homesteaded at some level everywhere we've been. Everywhere we lived. When we lived, all the places we lived in Oklahoma, in Wyoming, and both of the places we lived in Kansas. And then here. Yeah, I've guns. But their perception and ours is different because their experience is different than our experience. And sadly, their experiences of people being irresponsible with those. Sadly.
So I got to spend some time
The misuse of tools,
with the
yeah.
young man this spring
Mm-hmm.
that, that young man very dear to me.
Yes.
And he was with me and one of my nephews and my son and I don't know, my son or my nephew are like, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
I don't know how to change that.
Yeah, it's
Patty.
just our reception, I think. It may be.
Okay, I'm glad it's better.
Yeah.
I'm glad that fixed itself because we don't have any.
The wind started blowing. Excuse me. The wind started blowing.
And that helps our reception.
It does.
So I spent some time with the young man this spring. Had no clue of some of his background, and my son or my nephew, one of them said, "Hey, let's go shoot." We were hanging out here, family around. I'm like, "All right." And we grabbed some rifles and we told this young man, I said, "Come shoot with us." And him and my daughter and my son's girlfriend and my nephew, we all just went down the pasture and set up target, started shooting, and I handed him a rifle. Never thought anything about it. And my daughter looked at him and said, "You've never shot before, have you?" And it's like, "No."
Nope.
So my nephew and I, we just talked
Went
him
through
through
safety.
it, helped him how to
Safety
do it
procedures.
well. And my nephew's a lot more perceptive on like where he was standing and how he was aiming. Was able to coach him a little better than I was. And we had him shooting. And he shot not only the 22 and the 45, but he could shot my 30-06, which is a pretty intimidating gun if you've never shot a big caliber rifle. And mine's a very old 30-06, so it doesn't have any of the modern things that make them kick less.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that either. I mean, I knew that it wasn't a state. Wow. Everything's a federal offense. That's, wow.
And this kid shot and enjoyed it, and I found out later that he had kind of not really been anti-gun, but been
Very
kind of
reserved.
reserved
not
about
sure.
guns and not sure.
And he's young. He's a young man.
Because of his experiences living in a big city, and relatives and people close to him that have been shot in violent situations.
Yes, yeah.
And so
And we our culture which I'm sure most of y'all's cultures are the same. Not the same necessarily the same of ours, but this belief I'm going to share, this uh, in the culture we have grown up with, the culture we continue, and even kind of has changed a little bit within our family. That's a tool.
Yeah, guns are a tool.
Guns are a tool, and not so much a weapon. And so, therefore, there's a whole that you learn tool safety. You learn how to use a saw. You learn the safety on it. You learn how to use a chainsaw. You learn the safety on it. And for us, guns are the same thing. And so, for other people, it it's a. I mean, they're scary. They're
different perceptions.
if you weren't trained on how to use a chainsaw and you knew someone who was horribly injured from someone using it negligently or even purposefully misusing it, I would have to say that way. Someone purposefully misusing it, you would be scared of chainsaws. You would.
I got to say, I'm more scared of a chainsaw than I am a gun.
Yeah, because there's a whole lot more variables.
Yeah.
And anyway, but that's just the same.
Okay.
So
Well, hello.
But yeah, hello, bonjour. But anyway, they so that gave us a little bit of an eye opening, which
And he said he enjoyed it. He liked it. It was made him think about things a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get him to shoot again one of these days.
But that's a whole lot different. It's a whole lot different.
It's just a different perspective.
It is, and our experiences are not the same. And
So
he's had some traumatic experiences that have shaped his beliefs and shaped his thoughts, and it's a tool. It's the tool in itself has no power.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine as a kid riding in a pickup without a rifle being there somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
we went to school when we were young. When we started school, there were still people have them in their vehicles.
Yeah.
Pocket knives. He'll be hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with fishing.
Fishing, yeah. Which he does do, I think.
Yeah, I think he likes to. He hadn't done a lot of it, but he likes it. So we're gonna do some of that. And we've invited him to come go trout fishing with us, and he's planning on trying to get that to happen.
Yeah, we're gonna get that done. Yeah.
And so, we'll get to the hunting one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we were in elementary and part of junior high.
When I was in high school, there was rifles and gun runs.
Were there?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it went that far. I know that they had started a part where they couldn't have pocket knives when I was in junior high or high school, but it depended on who.
They had a rule.
But it wasn't enforced.
They didn't enforce it, but if anybody ever did anything inappropriate, the rule was you can't have that, so you get in trouble for one more thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
there were definitely kids in my high school that would get in trouble if they had a knife.
Yeah. But because they made poor choices in other areas. And they wouldn't have been responsible with it.
But then my principal would come find me in the class and say, hey, let me borrow your pocket knife.
Because he was raised in a different culture and had realized that you boys were careful with yours. Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's all what you grow up in your culture and what you're around, and sometimes in your experiences. And so we need to have compassion for each other in those things. And I don't remember where I was going with that, but we need compassion. I think compassion is deeply needed in a lot of things. Right. And
we need to be able to listen to people and see that they have different perspectives. We don't have to agree with everybody.
We don't.
I don't have to agree with somebody to care about it.
That's right. That's right.
And I hate the place we're in our nation, especially politically, where we can't just talk to each other, where we can't just express our views and hear somebody else's views and try to say, okay, that's why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be an argument.
It doesn't have to be an argument. And it doesn't have to be, I hate them because they don't agree with me, or they must hate me because they don't agree with me. That's silly. And that's childish. And we need to be able to talk to each other, share views. That's how we grow. That's how decisions are made. our founding fathers, they disagreed with each other and they talked to each other about it and they figured it out and said, this is what we need to do. Sometimes it came to blows, and that's why we're not in England right now. But
Part of England.
but there was a lot of discussion before that ever happened, and we need to be like that a little more. I'm conservative enough that the conservatives usually aren't conservative enough for me, but I don't I don't make politics a big deal.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
For one, it might get stuck in their window. The respect level has gone way down all the way around. It appears.
And that happened to my little brother just a year or two after I graduated high school. Somebody smashed out a window of his truck, stole a bow off a gun rack.
Yeah.
And that's my dad would never put a gun rack in a window.
Yeah.
It was always behind the seat.
Yeah.
But
Was.
yes,
Yeah.
was not anymore.
No.
And I don't know that he even carries a gun anymore at all. And I don't. I don't because of some other things. But yeah, there's.
Yeah. It gets sad. It gets really sad.
The bad thing is, if we go into I just hate politics and don't ever want to talk about them, we can't ever get anywhere.
Yeah.
We have to be able, as the voting public, we have to be able to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to be able to share our views with each other so we can make informed decisions.
And views, not attacks, not
Yeah, absolutely.
not gross generalizations, and it just
If you want to set me to figuring out how to delete you from this live, say let's go Brandon.
Yeah.
I think that's disrespectful.
Yes.
Not that I think that the guy's great, but I think the presidency should be respected.
And him as a human being, created in the image of God, should be respected.
So
whether we agree with him, whether we like him or not.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's we've already gotten way more political than we ever allow on our channel. So
we got way too far.
Yeah, we went too far. But guys, we need to be able to talk to each other. I love to share stories and different perspectives. And when people that don't like guns, they need to hear our perspective, but we need to hear their perspective.
Yes, we do. We do.
We need to know that they're not. That a lot of times they've just had different experiences.
They
and
have
from different places.
Mm-hmm.
And they, if we aren't willing to listen to theirs, they're probably not going to listen to ours.
Yes, exactly,
yeah,
Evelyn.
We're
exactly.
supposed to be praying for them.
Yes.
I personally, if you want to sit down and talk to me, you find me at the Ozark Homestead Expo. You want to talk to me, if you can talk to me, we can have a conversation about politics, but I'm not going to do that on our channel.
Yeah,
I've already gone way farther than I usually go.
We need to move on.
Yeah.
Homesteading. Ozark Homesteading Expo. So I know some of her key speakers are Joel Salatin, like her higher ups. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
You got it, Patty. You got it. Just because you can't remember the address or where address is where you find it in the Bible. So, but even if you can't recall the address, you've got that in your heart, and you know it, and that's good. But anyway, Ozarks Homesteading Expo. We've got Joel Salatin. Or I say we.
Yeah.
We are not part of it.
But at the Ozark Homesteading Expo, you'll be able to listen to Joe Salatin.
Yes.
You'll be able to listen to Chris McClellan, also known as Uncle Mud.
Uncle Mud.
You'll be able to hear Kevin and Sarah this year?
Kevin and Sarah, I believe so.
Living Traditions Homestead. Farmhouse on Boone.
Farmhouse on Boone. Yes, I'm so excited about that one.
And I don't know. There's a lot more.
Yes.
So, Facebook. Check out their Facebook page.
Yes.
Ozark Homesteading Expo.
And she does have a website as well. Ozark Homesteading Expo 2024. Yes, I love that.
Yeah. I agree with that.
We have not been to Tennessee. I would love to go deeper into the South and further east. We just have not been able to squeeze that in to our travels.
The furthest, I guess, east. I went to D.C. when I was a kid. That's east.
Yeah.
But as an adult,
I've been to St. Louis.
I went to Gulfport, Mississippi after Katrina.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. We won't be teaching this year. And I don't know, we may have, I don't know if we're, yeah, I don't think we're going to be teaching
We'll see.
this year. We'll see what's going on.
We're not. Yeah, we're not speaking as far as I know.
Mm-mm.
We are gonna be there.
Yep.
And we will definitely be there. We'll be glad to point you in the right direction.
From
And
Texas to Virginia, pretty cool. Yeah.
We will be able to point you in the right directions there.
Mm-hmm.
I am famous for giving directions to people and not having a clue who they are. But
oh, you have a YouTube channel?
yes.
Yeah, I sure do. Hey, he found a family wandering between sessions several years ago when the Homestead Expo was a little smaller.
And they were kind of in an end where there wasn't a lot going on. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, can I direct you to something? And I kind of started walking. They were saying, yeah, we want to see this and this. Oh, it's up here. I'm going to go up there. Come with me, you know. Started walking, and he started talking, and I said something about, setting up a camera. He said, do you have a YouTube channel? I said, yeah, and I told him, and he found it on his phone. He said, oh, yeah, that's us. And he said something. I said, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I do. And he looked at me like I was growing a third eye. and I said, well, what's the name of it? And he said, Keeping It Dutch. And I didn't know. I was like, oh, that's cool. I looked his channel up, and he had like 1 million subscribers. And
Gary's all shucks in it, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. And everybody was laughing at Gary in our friend group. That's our YouTube friend group and Homestead friend group was laughing at him because, everybody else, that was a huge deal. Kevin and Sarah were there, of course, from Living Traditions. But, and they're a much larger channel than Dutch. But anyway, but everybody was gaga over Dutch. We couldn't figure that out. But, I mean, people are people. I don't care if they got a huge YouTube channel or not. They're a person. But anyway, we thought that was funny that Gary was just all shucks and got to have
when they had their Okie Homestead Expo, we went to the first one and met some other people.
Yes.
We kind of got to know a few people through those, our Homestead Expo. So we went to that, enjoyed that. Dutch walked up to me and we talked for just a minute, and then he said, I've got a YouTube channel. You ought to check it out.
It's been a huge joke. Anywhere we go and he's there, he walks up to Gary, takes his hand, and they chat a little bit. He introduces himself, and they chat a little bit. And before he leaves, he says that to him. So it's become a huge joke. And he said it was very. Oh. Yeah. He told Doug.
I'd seen it a time or two, knew who he was. But
I watch Stacy's content. I do like Stacy's content, and I wanted to go to the I forgot, Homesteading Life Conference is what they call it. I just wanted to go once just to see what it was. We have some very dear friends that go. I wanted to go and hang out with them, and Cheryl was going. And
we got a question we need to answer. How long can canned goods vegetables last? Usually, if they're canned well, till the lids rust off.
Yep.
Which years and years and years. When my grandmother, when we cleaned up her place and they got ready to sell her house, we were cleaning up and we had thought we'd got all the canned stuff out of the basement, the food, years before that. Cindy and I had helped her just get it out of there, and she was doing stuff with it. We were cleaning up all the jars in her cellar basement thing, and one of my cousins grabbed a jar, shoved it under his shirt, and ran out of the basement. My brother said, "What did he just get?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We gotta go chase him down and see what it was."
And,
And so we went out there, and he found a can of her pickled okra. It was probably 10 years old.
Or older.
Older. And he opened it up and was eating it. It was good. We all ate a piece of Grandma's okra. So it was 10 years old at least.
But that's how important pickled okra is in our family.
Yes. And that was some of Grandpa Cargill's okra.
Shove it up his shirt and go hide.
He's afraid his older cousin will beat him up and take it from him.
Poor thing. The trauma of being the youngest. The trauma is surreal.
Yes. Yeah, that's the big thing is when
Yep.
that metal lid is your weak spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So if
Hello,
anytime,
Hooga Homestead.
Hooga, welcome in. If it goes poinky poinky, throw it out.
Yeah. That so live on your own hook.
Yeah.
When you're not dependent on the USDA to keep you safe, you have to learn some skills.
Yeah.
And one of them is
If there's bubbles,
yeah,
throw it out.
you
Like
have to learn how to know whether canned goods are good or not.
Yeah.
Because things can go bad.
If you have any doubt, throw it out. If you have any concern, throw it out.
If it smells funny, looks funny, tastes funny, don't eat it.
Yeah. Use your
So a canned sealed jar, even when you take them out of the can for a little bit, you push the top. Part of why Cindy and I love metal lids.
Yes, they were the original preppers because they had to. They had to feed themselves. They had
Absolutely.
to be dependent upon themselves. Yep.
You push that lid, and if it goes poinky, it's not sealed.
And it's not worth the chance. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Now, if you just canned it within 24 hours,
you put it in the
and it
fridge,
goes poinky, it didn't seal.
Can it or something.
Yep. You either recan it or you put it in the fridge.
Need it.
Yep.
Yeah, the old timers were the original preppers. Cindy and I.
Yep. Domed up.
Yes.
Toss it. Yes. Yep. And that is and a horror story from when I was a child. My grandfather made his famous salsa, hot salsa. My grandmother took us, and we were in South Texas near Livingston, on Lake Livingston. My grandparents lived down there on my mama's side, and my baby sister and I went down there the summer I was 13.
It's called poinky. No good. You're right. That's our word. That's
Poinky,
our
poinky.
description.
But anyway, so
So open kettle was the most
Yes.
common when metal canning lids started being available.
And
it was open kettle mostly, but there wasn't long after that no.
so
poinky,
this
poinky.
is what happens. Can I explain that?
Yeah.
So when it gets heated up and it's evaporating and all, or I say evaporate, that's not right. Evaporating is right. Whenever it's putting off gas or making air, evaporating, and the actual pulling that heat and letting the heat cool down will cause a vacuum, and will suck that lid down and will pull that. That's it. Yes, Livingston, Texas was where my grandparents on my mama's side lived. My granny was my daddy's mama, and she lived next door to us where I grew up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But my grandma and grandpa Bishop, the push-ups, as our little old Mamar push-up, but our middle girl called her old Mamar push-up. But anyway,
Patty, that's real good advice.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Then you do need to check your
Yes.
metal can.
Yes, you do. Yeah. But anyway, you've been there. Cool. So anyway, we went to Livingston shopping, and Granddaddy made his hot salsa. And he had started Alzheimer's, and we didn't quite know that yet. And he did not hot water bath his jars, and he put them up. When we got home, we'd gone shopping like all day. Like grandmother took us we went to the library. We went to it seems like maybe a museum or something. We went to something, and maybe it was something going on at the library. It's hard to remember. I was 13. That was a long time ago. And anyway, we went and we spent the whole day, and I'm talking the whole day, and we even had lunch at McDonald's, which was a huge deal to us. We hated McDonald's. For one, we hated McDonald's. For two, we hardly ever got to eat out. So, we went to McDonald's and got lunch and went to a park and played, and then very last of all, we went to Walmart shopping and the grocery store shopping, and then went back, and we got back around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and she had gotten some lunch meat for us to have sandwiches for supper that night, not cook supper. But anyway, we come home, and Granddaddy had cleaned everything up. The salsa was put in the closet and stored away, and we were super excited because grandmother had complained about the mess that she'd have to clean up. My sister and I in the bedroom we were in. I think we're going to have to wrap it up, guys. We're going to lose the wind died down, and we're going to lose our internet. But anyway, the paneling peeled off, ruined my granddaddy's Sunday suits. It was bad. But yeah, so
Yeah, we're having a little trouble
we
with
are having
Patty,
a little trouble.
and we're gonna wrap it up here pretty quick
Yeah.
because of that.
But yeah, so that my point there. My point there is, I no longer store my canning jars with the rings on. That way, if there is an expansion, because the whole thing, and the whole time my granny kept saying, when you girls can, when you get girls are canning, do not store with the rings on. Grandmother didn't check. If she had checked on granddaddy, she would have removed the rings, and that wouldn't have exploded the jars. But when the pressure builds up, if that lid can't expand enough, wow.
Okay.
If that
Well, I'm glad you got to see me.
if that gas can't escape, if that ring is down tight and that seal can't fully break enough, can't pull up enough, that lid can't pull up enough, then the jar will explode. Can explode, and so therefore store your canning jars without the rings on them. The lids, yes, if the lid is sealed, you're good. And then I tried doing a little rebel canning with some stuff one year, and
we had one not work,
and it didn't work.
Well, you've done some rebel cannons, work great.
Yeah.
And some that hasn't.
Yeah, and some that hasn't. And
so living on your own hook, you have to learn to be able to tell that, because there's no government entity to tell that for you.
Right.
And so.
And no inspectors.
Checking those lids.
You're your own inspector. Yep.
Checking those lids, making sure things aren't bubbling, things don't look funny.
And if you're fresh learning to can, get you a ball canning book or a ball. I have the complete guide to home preserving, food preserving, or however it's worded. It's a yellow book about yay tall, about yay thick. It's pretty thick.
And the ball blue book is good.
The ball blue book is good.
The older ball blue books are amazing.
They are. The older ones are much better than the newer ones.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
A mentor, if you can find you a mentor, those are my recommendations.
You know what else they can do?
What they can watch videos.
They can go to the Ozark Homesteading
Yes.
Expo, September 6th and 7th in Marshfield, Missouri, and go watch the canning class.
There is a canning class. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's one of the ways you can learn to not only to can, but how you can learn to live life on your own hook.
Yep. So, anyway, there's a plug.
Yep.
So, guys, we're going to have to get going.
Yes.
Because my phone's going to die because the battery's running low and the wind has laid down, so we have a bad connection now. Thank you guys for coming.
We're so glad that people
Yes.
have been in here. We've had a lot of people in here
Yeah.
today. We've had some not fun things, and we've had some great things.
Yeah.
We had some new people in here. Jay, we're glad you're in here.
Yes.
We're glad that Cheryl got to stop
Yep.
in here. Ozark Homestead Expo, we're glad you got to stop in here. And some of our regulars that we are used to talking to, Patty and Evelyn.
So many more.
So many of you. If I didn't name you, it's just because I'm not a fart smeller sometimes. Yes, county extension officers do have great.
Yes, master canners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so there's lots of resources, and just start looking online for those canning classes and for your county extension office.
Be very careful watching YouTube channels.
Yes. You can watch YouTube channels. I would more
I would
push
confirm
towards.
it with good science-based stuff from the Blue Book. And
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. And that being said, I do have some rebel canning videos. But if you are a new canner, don't do what I do.
So, guys, we appreciate you being
Yep.
in here. We're gonna pray.
Yes.
We're gonna definitely pray for Patty's house.
Yes.
We're gonna pray for Rebecca's caller.
Yes.
And
Xander's not in here, but his family. We're gonna pray for his family and all the. Father God, I just thank you for today, Lord. I just ask that you would bless everyone this week, that you would help us to be a blessing to those we come in contact with. Lord, I just thank you and praise you for your Son and the salvation that you have offered through him and through his death, burial, and resurrection, Lord. Lord, I ask that you be with all these prayer requests mentioned and not mentioned. Lord, that you would provide, that you would comfort, that you would heal according to your will, Lord. Lord, I thank you and praise you in Jesus' name.
Lord, you're mighty and you're holy. We lift up the needs that have been mentioned tonight. Patty's house and Rebecca's car.
Yes.
And then we know there's some that haven't been mentioned, Lord. We're just thankful that we can get on here and enjoy the things you have made. And talk about the food and the way you've provided. Lord, we love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so Ashley, CNC.
I'll be getting with you.
Yeah, and get a hold of Cindy, or she's going to get.
I'm going to get a hold of her.
You're going to get a hold of her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we want you to remember.
God made you special.
And He loves you very much.
Have a blessed week, everybody. Love ya.
Y'all later.
See ya.